Well, tonight there is still a need to monitor our state's power grid, and operators say it'll be that way until at least Friday. ERCOT has extended the weather watch as cooler temperatures are nowhere in sight and the power grid remains stressed. 6 News anchor Bailey Bates is live in studio tonight after talking to an energy expert about what this means for the rest of the dog days of summer. Bailey?
Lindsay, we're just getting started. It's good news that the grid has held up so far with the intense heat the entire state is under, but those who study the grid worry with each hot day there's just too much strain.
The extreme heat wave showing no remorse on the state of Texas. As triple-digit days continue, the state's power grid needs constant checking.
Just like everyone else in the state of Texas, absolutely.
Dr. Robert Hebner, director of the Center for Electromechanics for the University of Texas at Austin, is just one of the many Texans worried about the state's energy.
We really need the heat wave to break first before the pieces of the grid start breaking.
He says the power grid is in overdrive to keep Texans cool and safe. But even in a sweltering summer,
I give a whole lot of people in the state a lot of credit for keeping the air conditioners running this summer. It's been a hard one to do it.
He says grid operators made the right judgment for the summer season to keep all the systems afloat.
We can reasonably accurately predict what the demand for electricity is going to be, and then we have to figure out, okay, how are we going to meet it that day?
Sometimes it means asking Texans to be mindful of grid conditions through weather watch alerts. When demand is high, but reserve supply is very limited. Hebner says that's ERCOT making sure they get it right and not wrong like they did in the 2021 winter storm.
I think we're now in the little too much stage just to make sure that that never happens to us again. And that's not a bad place to be. It's a little more expensive than it needs to be, but you get a lot more reliability.
And reliability is what Texans were wanting from our state's power grid. Hebner says you should be mindful of conditions because when you pay attention, the whole grid will work better overall. Once again, this weather watch goes until this Friday. So we got to be careful out there, Lindsay.
Yeah, the heat is not going to subside, but a lot more awareness these days on who ERCOT is and what they do. All right, thanks so much, Bailey.